Virgo, welcome to September. This is a general reading for the 1st through the 15th of September 2020. And again, it's a general reading, so it may not resonate with everybody. If it doesn't, that's perfectly fine. Look at your sun rising signs, and also if it's someone close to you, it could be sort of reverse. But this is for the global Virgos during this time frame of what the major sort of energy is. And Virgos, I've already shuffled the cards here and asked the spirit guide to focus on what cards will come from this to sort of guide us on that. And that was to save time. And just real quick, I want to thank you for clicking on my YouTube channel, As I See You Tarot, and would definitely appreciate your support if you would click on the big three, which is the like, the subscribe, and the notification buttons. They all are important to the YouTube algorithms, and I would appreciate it. So without further ado, we're going to start here, and to show our cards that we're already picked out for. The first card here is your past influences, which are things that are sort of could have been recurring within the last 3 to 6 months and sort of carrying over their past influences that were either major energies or things that might be residual carrying over. This second card is your future, or I'm sorry, is your present, things that you're sort of surrounding you right now in this current sort of moment during September, that period. The third card is your future of these issues that are surrounding you, and what to expect. The fourth card are challenges, and challenges are things that may come up. They don't mean they will come up. They could come up, and it just gives you an opportunity to sort of recognize them, and if they do, and nip them in the bud, and you'll get through them. And the fifth card is the outcomes within this basic time frame. So we have, pick it up here. Oh wow! So we have, sorry, the glare there. We have the Empress. So we know that the Empress here in your past year is representing sort of a femininity. And remember, this is not gender based. This is just a mark or a skill or style. There's a femininity sort of style here that's translating or was translating in many ways. It's representative of elegance and sensuality and fertility, creative expression, nurturing sort of feelings. It says all those things are basically necessary to create balance for both women and men. You know, when this Empress card calls upon you, it's basically saying it's time to connect with your feminine energy, the softer side of you. Again, it doesn't matter what your gender is. It's about creating sort of beauty in your life, connecting with your senses through touch, taste, sound, smell, sight. It's drawing on these senses to experience pleasure and deep fulfillment. It's about treating yourself in a day spa, learning a massage, joining the fine restaurant, or spending time with your partner. It's quality time, and perhaps I'm feeling that in the recent past that Virgos were spending some time with that. That was something that was your focus. That was a part of your focus in your immediate past here, and it could have been finding that something that interests you, from painting to music or drama or other art forms. It was for Geminis, it was a period to sort of take up a new hobby or something that, or I'm sorry, Geminis, Virgos. It was something about to take up that new hobby or access to yourself, something that's spark the interest in you, sort of rejuvenate, if you will, for our Virgos. I'm picking up that the Empress here signifies sort of an abundance, and some Virgos were surrounded by life's pleasures and sort of everything that you had everything that you needed to live comfortable, and were able in this immediate past here. When the Empress appears in a tarot reading, it's about taking a moment to reflect on the bounty that surrounds you. So for Virgo, perhaps in your past you were feeling appreciative of everything that you have, that at least everything that you needed, and you were feeling content that you had the things that you needed to have, and that's having gratitude, and continue to sort of build on that energy to create even more sort of stability in your life and your finances and whatever else. Yeah, this represents a Mother Earth archetype. The Empress urges you Virgos to venture out into nature. We know Virgo, you sometimes can be a workaholic and put a lot of work stuff into work. And in the past, this card was basically telling you to sort of take some time for yourself and take some time to be with somebody else. And don't let work become your focus. It's important to spend time with people who you care about and quality time. So this is saying that some, not just some Virgos were able to take that time and heard that message and it took you to sort of a higher appreciation with those that are important to you. Oops. In our presence here, we have the Five of Swords. Sorry, the glare there, folks. The Five of Swords. So, what are you doing right now, Virgos? This is telling me that some Virgos, you may right now be in some sort of disagreement or conflict, and perhaps some Virgos are either have or are in the midst of wanting to walk away with whatever this conflict was, and whether it was work, family, friends, group, support group, it doesn't matter. There's some sort of disagreement or conflict that some Virgos wanted to walk away or have already walked away because they were sort of disillusioned by it. It's telling me that some Virgos are feeling a sort of a sadness and loss about this, and there may be some upset and some are resentful over heated words that perhaps even you Virgo may have said, and now that you wish you could take back. It's basically sort of represents that there's bad blood or some sort of something that's some relationship or some sort of business relationship or romantic relationship or friend relationship or relationship with something had sort of turned sour for some reason, and it's taken a toll on you, Virgo. So what this sort of looks at is even if you sort of won the argument, Virgo, it's telling you that maybe that winning that was at a price to you. And this card is basically asking you to sort of, if you're feeling this sort of sadness and this loss, then was it worth it to hold your ground? Was it worth it to win? Did you do was it worth it? That's the bottom line. And if you're feeling this sort of sadness and a withdrawal, or if you think people sort of are looking at you differently or not treating you the same because you went way out on a limb and you made your point, but at what price? Then that's what you're feeling. And it's going to ask you sort of to decide whether your point of view is so important that you were willing to sort of walk out on your relationships or put them in jeopardy. Or if that's how you're feeling, this card is saying you have an opportunity, you have a choice. Stay where you are and stay in the sadness, and eventually it'll go away at some point, but that's time wasted. Or you can do a compromise and you can kind of go back to those individuals and perhaps just say you're sorry, and sort of get a reconciliation and meet people halfway. And if you do that, this card is going to say you're going to become more of a successor here. So the advice of the Five Swords here is to pick your battles, Virgo. It's about, you may be tempted to sort of fight any conflict to ensure you get your way, but this is saying this is not what you need to do. The universe is not asking you to do this, because in many cases, again, pick your battles. If you pick the wrong battle, they're going to be doing more damage. Again, it depends on what were your fight, what was your stance on? Was it life? If it was so big, or value based or beliefs based, or someone was in jeopardy. But if it was just something over that was petty, this is saying, how was it really that you're feeling this way because obviously you went too far, and you're paying the price for it because people are seeing you in a different way, and perhaps was it worth it? That's what this card is basically saying. And it's sort of telling us that, again, if you had felt challenged and threatened, about this, but yes, your feelings are entitled to it, and this is saying it understands this, but the universe here is basically saying that it's your interpersonal relationships, that if you're feeling that they've been strained because of this, you can correct this, Virgo, by meeting them halfway, going back and taking a stance and just saying, apologize, let it go, have a happy, medium. Don't have to over-explain it. It's just reaching out to people that you may have shut out in this process, and your relationships are going to come out stronger, and you're going to benefit from it. So, that's what this card is about here in your presence here. Yeah, and it's basically saying that for the Geminis, or God, I keep saying Gemini. If Virgos, I apologize. Virgos, if you have engaged in that sort of conflict, that took its toll, this is an invitation to apologize. Again, the longer you brood and the more you try to prove that you were right, the more challenging the relationship of whatever this occurred will become. And because you're feeling down or out or sad or a loss, that's telling you and yourself that you're not happy with how the outcome was. You won, but you didn't. So if you want to change that, again, this is emphasizing just go address it and apologize, make no excuses, and the individuals will understand it, and they will move much faster, and your relationships will come back. It will resolve if you just do this. So it's a quick, so the Five of Swords here, can also point to failure, and it shows that despite your best efforts, some Virgo's best efforts, you find yourself on the path of if because you lost something or it was or became disillusioned, that you might want to run torment yourself. But this card is saying that any sort of thing, if you're feeling any loss or any sort of sadness about something, accept it and defeat it. If you did defeat, but accept it, release it, and let it go. Most importantly, learn from it and be smarter and wiser the next time. In our futures, we have Two of Wands. So now, this is about sparking inspiration, and this comes from it's a playoff of sort of the Ace of Wands, which is about new energy and starting something new. But this is about an action plan. So this card now is saying that you've went through sort of a discovery phase. So if we're talking about you sort of are feeling, let's just say this situation here of you're feeling bad about some sort of argument or whatever else. This is now saying that your immediate future is saying that you're going to take the inspiration and that you're going to have a clear action plan to resolve this. And it's saying that you're going to do a sort of a self-discovery here, Virgo, and you're going to know what you need to manifest. And it's by doing this, you're going to have the energy basically to sort of to identify this, to find a way to fix it, to find a way to map it out, to look at your options, and plotting the path ahead of how you can resolve this at the lowest level, which is really what is key, and have value to it. That's the critical thing. That this is going to be, it's going to be worth exploring, and you're going to get growth out of this. And your efforts will come out in the end. You'll get the payback. You will benefit from it. So when the Two of Wands here basically appears, it's going to say that perhaps you're not ready to make that sort of move, or you're not ready to move forward on this apology or seeing someone eye to eye. It's what this basically is saying. You're establishing a clear plan to do it. So you may not be doing it right this minute, but in your mind you've made up that you're establishing a plan that will work for you, and that's going to be a win-win. And this is about, again, you're going to discover how to do that. Your things are going to come to you. It's going to be much easier to sort of step outside your comfort zone. Let your pride down, and sort of just take it head on, but make it from a common sense and from a belief in a value system. That's where it's going to come from. And you're going to use your courage to set out to give this to you. You're going to get confidence and the self-knowledge that was the right thing to do. And I think something with this plan that you're working on is going to be the right thing to do. And I think it's telling me that you're ready for this. You may not have been ready when it was happening, but right now you're getting ready, or you've been contemplating that you need to do something to resolve this thing here. So again, I keep yeah. This is just about whatever you're wanting to do. You're in the planning mode, and this is good. You don't have to accomplish it, but you're setting the spark out there to start putting the energy towards that, and that's a good thing right now, because it's saying that you're going to get successful when you carry this out. The twos in general represent sort of decisions of some sort. So with this particular two, this is about making a choice between sticking with what you know and taking a risk. So it's saying, Virgo, that you understand the world has something bigger and more meaningful to offer, and yet you may realize you must leave sort of that familiar grounds to sort of capitalize on the opportunity, or to make good. So again, it maybe you let go of any pride, but stick with you. It feels good and it feels right to do it. And again, for Virgos, some you may have already invested a lot into this circumstance, and it's going to say it would be imperative to let it go. So just step out and sort of explore the options of figuring out how you can mend it, and you will be successful. In our challenge, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So this one basically comes into, this is again about abundance. She represents that anything that you have been working on, or the things that you're feeling accomplished on, that your abundance is going to come, and you're going to finally enjoy that fruits of your labor. And it's basically saying that you've put in, some Virgos, that hard work that you do, and that sort of workaholic mindset is your independent efforts, and that self-confidence and the discipline, and your carrying that out is going to be well-deserved success, and you're going to create that stable foundation for you, and your abundance and wealth of whatever wealth means to you is going to come, and you're going to find it to be comfortable. And this is going to say that it's not necessarily a challenge. This is basically saying this is, the hard work you've been putting in, that challenge is going to come to an end here. And this is saying that you're going to be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy those pleasures, and enjoy the things that you've worked for, that good things are coming from that. With the Virgo, with the Nine of Pentacles, this has to do, this is about perhaps some are scared to take the splurge, or to indulge, or to pamper yourself, or to spend money on yourself for fear, for whatever reason, and you're just been saving for like crazy. This card is saying that if there's a special occasion and you use common sense, spend it on that personal gift. Celebrate your journey here. With someone you love. Go to dinner. Go spend something. Buy something for yourself. This is about rewarding yourself, not spending tons of money, not going into anything else, but celebrate it. Celebrate the strengths and the occasions, and particularly if you have significant others that are with you that you want to do it, bring them in, because people will appreciate it, and it will mean a lot to not only you but to others. You will re-energize yourself with this. The Nine of Pentacles, also speaks about financial independence. So, many Virgos are very good about investing and sort of looking at their retirements and their savings. And this card continues you Virgos to do the same, in order to create that sort of abundance and independence that Virgos strive for. So this is about kudos, investing wisely and continue in doing so. Seek financial advice if you need, of course. And this is about, you're not going to rely on other people to support you. This is about independence. So again, the overall Pentacle suit basically focuses on material wealth and gain anyway. This card by itself is about you, Virgo, being in harmony with the environment around you. It's about you, Virgo, appreciating the beauty and the abundance found in your nature, and found in your home, and found with the people that you work with or that you are close to. It's about getting in touch with that high vibe energy and pleasure of life. That this is about if you have an opportunity and you have your home, get involved in gardening, get involved in anything to pass your time with beauty and nature and sort of the outdoors and walks in the park. Basically, it's about that old saying of take time to smell the flowers. It's about that moment. This is take some time to enjoy things that are around you and the people that are around you, and you will do fine. In our outcomes, we have the another wands card here. We have the Five of Wands. So what are we doing here? This one, this is about interesting. I'm picking up that some Virgos, perhaps are facing or fear you're going to be facing some sort of internal conflict. I'm picking up that some Virgos are unclear, perhaps, of not where they stand on this, whatever, some sort of important issue here, or something that's important to you, Virgo. And it's telling me that you may sort of try to work through your point of view through some sort of major topic, like immigration or globalization or the environment or something like that. That you have a major interest in something similar to that, and that you're having to navigate your personal issues as to whether do you stay in a particular relationship or job. And let's say if there's a value, you value immigration, and you're working with people who don't want it. This is sort of raising the consciousness about that and sort of asking you to get into your vibrational alignment as best you can. And perhaps that's what many Virgos, maybe friends who think one way and you think the other, and they're verbalizing it, and it's bringing it to the consciousness about, do you want to be around people that are thinking different than you are, and radically different. So, because you're wanting to, Virgo, you're wanting to create an enormous amount of harmony, and whatever it is you're feeling is going to be tension and disagreement, and perhaps you're wanting to avoid that, and this is what you're thinking about. So, this is saying that I'm picking up here to guide you, Virgo, that for those Virgos that are feeling this, it's about you needing to find a clear perspective, and perhaps seek out someone that has the perspective of what you're thinking about, or that you're going in the opposite direction, and sort of validate that and see if you're understanding what you're feeling, or what your belief is to go seek the information and go get knowledge on it first. You'll find the process is beneficial, and do a little research. If in other words, if you're going to take a stand on a topic, this is saying do your homework and fully understand all options, and don't go off with half information. That's the critical thing here. This is about Virgos aligning your head and your heart, and discover sort of the peace within yourself on whatever particular topic is bringing up these feelings here. The Five of Wands on the reverse side basically is about usually has to avoiding conflict, but what we're doing here, in the upright is about you're addressing conflict. So that this is the conflict that you're having on these tension issues is that you're in the process to address them, and you're wanting to find a common goal, and you're wanting to be heard, and perhaps you felt that no one was listening to you on some sort of agenda item, and it's important here, Virgo, to remember that everyone has a different opinion, but you're sort of just feeling like the underdog here, that no one's supporting you. So the key here is I'm picking up here, Virgo, that the cards in the universe is telling you to pause and tune in to one another. Don't outshout people. Take a time and listen to other people's cases. You will get more information from it. Don't cut them off. It's the process. Enjoy the process of investigating these opinions, and not look at it as I'm righteous and they're not. Value other people's opinions, and become softer and quieter in your approach. This is saying that if you're shouting too loud or being too forceful, the softer your approach is, and the better respect you're seeking from others to listen to your viewpoint. Sometimes, Virgo, this is about conflict and discussions that can also be very productive. And perhaps if you get in a small group of brainstorming and problem solving or whatever, that you're going to get more of it, and you find yourself in a constructive environment where you can test your sort of vision and your ideas, that that you'll feel more supported, and you'll get more benefit from that. So if you want to be in a working group, or informal or formal or whatever, or be on some committee or something, to sort of broaden broaden perspectives is what this is about. And sort of educating people. This is not about shouting and forcing your way. This is about, your drive is to want to educate people and let them make the choice. That's really what this is important here. The Five of Wands encourages diversity, and it's about differences of opinions. And for Virgo, you may be dealing with different people of cultures and backgrounds, and perhaps some people, you just don't understand their way of living, or their particular culture. And this is about if it's perhaps you didn't realize that, or you didn't understand it, but something's triggered it. And this is telling you, Virgo, to understand each person has something unique to bring to the table when there is something that you're fighting for or have a strong belief in. It could be a local law, it could be a committee rule, or something of that nature. And that it's saying that you'll benefit by learning more about them and their beliefs, and not just making a rash decision. And again, diversity. The Five of Wands here encourages you to be enthusiastic approach to change. Change is coming, and your enthusiasm is wonderful. It's harness the enthusiasm. It's about ensuring that everyone is on the same page, and dealing with the sort of change in a constructive and positive way, and not bullying people over or pushing them over, and be concerned about that. Be mindful of that. Everybody has ideas, Virgo, and this one is basically saying, if you plan ahead and you are a softer approach, and you open your mind, and the energy that you're putting into this fight, or that you feel is taking all your time and energy, is put it in perspective. It doesn't have to take all your time and energy. It's you're doing it. So this is saying, put things in balance and put things in perspective, and you can accomplish it the same way. So there we have it there, Virgo. I hope this is, again, the overall energies for the collective of Virgos for the September 1st through the 15th of 2020. If it doesn't resonate, no problem. Look at your sun rising signs. Look at some other readings, and things doesn't always resonate with everybody. So this is the bigger picture of what these cards are telling me, and enjoy. So again, thank you so much for watching this, and I would appreciate if you would click on the big three of like, subscribe, and notification buttons, and we will see you in the second half of September 2020. Thank you, Virgo.